All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house is blessing your day. By His mercies, we aren't consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house body into His spirit. We're naturally alive, honestly. We're spiritually alive, honestly. That's the most important thing. Most important thing, honestly, than we're naturally alive. Because you know what it is, too, and Lord willing, we're gonna wow, you know what? I'm just thinking about another like video that we could talk about now as we speak, but more cause shout out to the brother that sent me firstborn, cause last night he was going to John 6 and what Peter said about what when in John 6 after Yahushua asked him, cause after they couldn't understand what the parable how no pretty much after they said after Yahushua said eat of my flesh and drink of my blood pretty much and all the disciples, I mean, all the people that followed him left. Honestly, a lot of disciples that was with him left. Then he looked at his 12 and said, "Are you gonna leave?" But what Peter said was, "Man, like, where else we gonna go? Like, you got the words of life. Talking about Yahushua, like, honestly, you have the words of life. So that's why it's important, honestly, like, because Peter understood, like, this is the only way. Honestly, man, which is the way, which is Yahushua, the Most High Yahushua, man, the words of life. So that's why we harp on a lot of times being spiritually alive. Actually, speaking of being alive, we know that's a perfect segue, man, because I think on Monday or a few days ago, the scripture of the day was 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 26. And we're going to look into that, man, because this all ties back into the, into the beginning, or even to the law, or the beginning when pretty much the Most High in Yahushua saying that they live forever, honestly, and pretty much how it's everlasting life with the Most High Yahushua on this side and the next. So, I mean, what is life, I should say. Everlasting life is on the next, but well, when the word is in you, you have everlasting life. So, kind of like that. But let's get it. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 26, and it reads. Let's go. So, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 26, it says, "Yep, for the earth is the Lord's and its fullness." Honestly, so see that? Yeah, that's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 26. It says, "For the earth is the Lord's and its fullness." So see that even relates to, because you know what it is too. I remember even before I came in the word, growing up in the came in the knowledge, came in the word, before growing up in the of course the in Christianity, man, they do have a gospel song saying He has the whole world in His hands, and the scriptures does say that, man. Actually, let's grab the inside rack real quick because we're going detour a little bit, but yeah, let's look at this. Hopefully, I don't fall. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. It's all right. 18 and verse 3. It says, he 18 verse 3 says, "He will govern the world with His palm of His hands. All things obey His will, for He is King of all. By His power divide holy things among them that from them are profane." Yeah, pretty much He divides the holy and profane and earthly, pretty much. So that goes back to the beginning, or the law of Jacob and Esau. That's why Hebrews says, pretty much Jacob was holy, Esau was profane, honestly. But anyway, he pretty much that says He has the whole world like in His hands, pretty much like the earth is the Most High in house, the earth is His. But yeah, let's grab this again. It says for 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 26, it says, "For the earth is the Lord's and its fullness." So see that? So you gotta understand, man, even besides, let's get Ecclesiastes real quick. Even besides, right, something like the rainbow, right? That's the Most High's covenant to never flood the earth again, right? And even that aside, even the earth itself, like the covenant, or like the earth itself, its creation is like knowing that He lives forever, or the Most High house has this existence, honestly. So because if what we about to read, because if the earth abides forever, what do you think the Creator of the earth does? So let's get Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 4. It says, "One generation passes away, and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever." So see that? So if the earth is the Most High house, and and the earth is forever. And so what does that tell you? Let's go to Deuteronomy 20, 32, honestly. Deuteronomy 32, verse 40. It says, "For I'll raise my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever." See that? So that's pretty much saying that the Most High Yahshua, they live forever, honestly. So that's just is what it is, because the earth itself is a proof that, that the Most High Yahshua lives forever, honestly, man. Because if the earth is theirs and the earth provides forever, then as he said, let's read this again. He said, read this again. They said they live forever. And that's what we seek in everlasting life, honestly. And how we get that from this word, man, especially from the gospel, the witness, the testimony, man, new covenant, that's it. Honestly, like we said in the earlier, with Yahushua, the words of Yahushua, the gospel, that's the everlasting life right there, what Peter was saying. And also, too, what we just read in Ecclesiastes again, when it says generation to generation pass away, and generation, another generation comes. That's important to passing the word down, as Joel says, honestly. Because, we going to put the real up, but because I got basketball on, I was just watching real last night. Kobe saying that, man, pretty much. They asked him, why is it so important for you with this generation being as a mentor? He said, listen, those are the guys that came before me that did, man. Bill Russell, the Jerry West, the Jordans, the Magic Johnsons, they did that for me. So he said, I had to do it for the next generation. How more? That's just a natural example, but how much more with the word, honestly. That's what that Joel 1 and 3 is about. But that's something for another time. But yeah, man, but let's go back to the point. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 40. It says, for I raise my hand to heaven, and as I live, and I say, as I live forever. So see that? Yeah, man. So let's get that. That's why let's go Isaiah 40. Then I'm trying to hit Matthew 24. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 8. It says, "The grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God stands forever." Yep, so that's why Yahushua can come and say, heaven and earth shall pass away, but his words are going to live forever. And also, too, that's why in Psalms it goes into how, our life is as grass, but if the word is in you, you'll have everlasting life. Because, time flies. Me and my coworker, we was just talking about that yesterday, man, because he was, I was just saying, on my other channel, on another YouTube channel I got, just talking about, movies and TV, man. I was talking about, because a while back I seen a clip of, I'm not going to watch it, but T.I. doing stand-up. But I remember T.I. when Urban Legend during that time, T.I. Night Now, to think, back in 2004, to think that T.I. would try stand-up comedy is crazy. Even, recently, a few months ago, John Cena retired. I remember growing up watching wrestling, watching that era, and I was like, dang, he retiring now? So, yeah, that's just a natural example of how pretty much, life is as a vapor and life is as grass, time flies, but that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to think. Matthew 24. Okay. Yep, Matthew 24, here it is, verse 35. Then we're going to close out with this. "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will no by means pass away." So let's read Matthew 24 and verse 35. "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away." So, yeah, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. So much love to you, brothers and sisters, man. And hopefully, man, what we do here helps you build you brothers and sisters' faith up, man, and our obedience and knowledge, wisdom, standing for the Most High Yahushua, man. Because what we doing here, honestly. So that's what it is, man. So peace.